I know my husband. I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. So there are things he would tell me. He would say, oh, I'm going to buy this thing for you. I know what he can afford. So I know the things that he would say, and I know I can do. Basis for everything. If you don't have faith that he is, if you don't have faith that he is real, the TPT translation says you must believe that God is real. If you don't believe that God is real, then you can't believe for anything else. So we establish that first, that God is, and then he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And you see, this whole thing starts from the very beginning of time. Satan went to, if you read Genesis 1 and 2, the whole story of creation, and then you get into chapter 3, it talks about where Satan came to deceive the man and the woman, Adam and Eve. And Satan said one thing to her, which is the same thing he's saying to us every single time. And that shows me that the very essence to everything is about what Satan is trying to get is our trust in God, it's our faith in God. He said to Eve, he said, did God really say? And you see, the thing about Satan is if he can get you to doubt one, he will get you to doubt all. So if God didn't really say that you can have children, then why do you believe that God says you can have money? If God didn't really say that you can get married, then why do you believe that you can have healing in your body? He wants you to question God. And he knows that if he can get you to question one thing, anything in the word, and that's what seems to be going on in the world today. Everywhere you turn, it's one person castigating the word, what God is saying, what the Bible is saying. Is it really true? Are men really the head? Should women really submit? Everything. There's just so much chaos everywhere. And the truth is, if you do not trust God enough to take him by his word, you will be moved by every wind of doctrine. And that's exactly what God does not want for you. And that's what Satan is trying to do. He's trying to get you to doubt God. So he will ask you questions like, did God really say? You see, the same, and the thing about Satan is that his tricks are the same. He doesn't bring anything new. He's not that innovative, contrary to what most people believe. He's not. The same tricks he's been using from time immemorial, he's still using today. He asked Eve, did God really say? And then the Bible tells us much later in the New Testament that Jesus was baptized. And when Jesus was baptized, one of the things that God said the heavens opened, and that the Spirit of God descended upon him like a dove, and that the voice of God was heard. He said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. God had spoken that this was his Son, and he said, hear ye him. So it was established that God had already said that Jesus was his Son. And then when Jesus left from that place, the Bible says straight away he was taken into the wilderness to be tempted by Satan. And the very first thing Satan said to him was, if you are the Son of God, turn these stones to bread. It wasn't about hunger. It wasn't about identity. It was about the fact that you really believe what God says about you. Do you really believe that God can be trusted? Do you really believe that you can take God at his word? And Jesus knew that this was just the same trick, the same thing he did that made Eve fall. And he told him, it is written. In other words, I trust what God has said. My question to you this morning as we move ahead is, do you trust what God has said? God has said that all things are now ready. Do you trust that all things are ready for you? Irrespective of what's going on around you, do you trust? People are being laid off, but do you trust that all things are still ready for you? And he says, when I say all things, I mean all things, meaning nothing is removed from it. So if you really, really, really look closely, you will know that what Satan has been trying to do and is still trying to do today is to get you to not trust God. And there are many reasons why people don't trust God. I'm just going to run through a few of them quickly for you. Number one, if you don't know God, you can't trust him. If you do not identify the fact that God is real, you've never encountered him for yourself, you don't have a living relationship with him, then people can tell you whatever. I have experienced God. I've experienced the healing power of God. I've experienced the presence of God. I've experienced God speaking to me in dark hours, holding my hand at times when I should have given up. I've experienced God giving me accurate words, like speaking to me in real time. You can't convince me now that there is no God, because I've experienced him for myself. I have seen God cancel doctors' reports. You can't tell me that God is not a healer. Most times why people don't trust God is because they don't know him. You can't trust someone you don't know. I know my husband. I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. So there are things he would tell me. He would say, oh, I'm going to buy this thing for you. I know what he can afford. So I know the things that he will say, and I know I can trust. So when you have experienced God, when you know him, you have a relationship with him, you know his voice. You know the things God can say. You know, sometimes people come to me and say, oh, I think God is saying so and so and so to me. And I'm just amused, because I'm like, it's obvious you don't read the Bible. If you do, you will know that God cannot say those kind of things. There's a way you will know someone. You will know what they are capable of. So it means that you can also trust them to deliver on promises that they've made. If you don't